Hello everyone, I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So today I'm going to talk about how we can heal, after coming out from a narcissistic relationship. And as we know that, there is no justice, when we are in a narcissistic relationship or when we come out. I mean, there is no justice, and that makes us even feel more miserable. Yeah. So this is all what I'm going to talk about. And before I get deeper into the video, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you are always updated whenever we put out a new content. So, now let us understand when this whenever we are in a narcissistic relationship, we as it is feel miserable. Yeah, we feel miserable and we go on doing it to please them, and in that entire process we even forget ourselves. We forget loving ourselves because we are trained, manipulated, and conditioned in such a way that we should be, just devoted, to that narcissist with whom we have a relationship. And when we get over with that relationship, the, the more we sit and look back and realize, the more we feel miserable and horrible, because we are able to see how foolish we were, how silly we were, how weak we were. And why didn't I realize it earlier? Why didn't I put a full stop? uh, I'm just stupid, I'm foolish. These are the things that comes. And we have this, that we have this feeling that may he or she, whoever that narcissistic person is, could be parent, partner, or co-worker, friends, anyone. When we come out of the relationship with this narcissist, we often feel that maybe he or she should face the consequences of whatever he she has done. Now, I mean, that revenge, that vengeance, we have, that may he also learns a lesson, may she also learns a lesson. And it's absolutely okay to feel that way. There is nothing wrong. And my heart goes out to all of those who have suffered, and who all have been scarred because of this narcissistic relationships and narcissistic people. And it's very normal to look for revenge. It's very normal to have this vengeance, that may he also suffer, may he also faces the same thing, may she also faces the same thing. But I mean, till that point it's fine, where we come out and we feel that he should learn a lesson, she should learn a lesson. But when we look at these movies, when we look at these serials, oh, there's a different story. In reality, these narcissists, karma doesn't work in their case, in the cases of these narcissists. But amazingly, it works in the movies, it works in the serial, that he did bad to this girl and later on he had a horrible end. Yeah. So it's like really magnified, and we feel good. When we watch such movies, when we see a character is narcissistic and he's abusing another victim, and how the victim prays, and all of a sudden karma works, and this narcissist faces the wrath of karma, and suffers. So then we also feel good, we feel accomplished, that yes, that bad guy learned a lesson, that bad woman learned a lesson, we feel good. But when we look at our lives, when we look around in the reality that we exist and we live in, things don't work that way. I mean, a lot of narcissists get away after doing wrong with us. Yeah. Sometimes it's family, it's parents, we can't sue them. Yeah. Sometimes it's partner, And we get into so much of these court cases and all. When we lose up, we just get drained emotionally. We lose the custody of a child, we lose a lot of these things. And there's societal pressure that you don't have to do this, you don't have to do that. And I mean, you cannot call out a narcissistic parent or narcissist and leave them. So there is a lot of these toxic enabling that happens, that further drains us, because there are a huge amount of toxic enablers in the society who enable these narcissists. Yeah. And the moment you say no, or you start a fight with this narcissist and get away, and you know um, try and tell them or teach them a lesson, there are a hell lot of toxic enablers who are not going to let you accomplish what you want. So they are directly or indirectly going to aid that narcissist. Oh, it's okay, you should be quiet, leave it. Come on, you don't have the finances to fight. Oh, it's your parent, what to do, what will people say, how can you file a lawsuit against your parent, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Oh, why are you going to file a case, he's your husband, why are you going to file a case, she's your wife, and she's taking after, looking after your kids. It's okay, you should just let it go. We get these kind of things, and in the end we never get that revenge. We never feel accomplished, we never feel happy the way how we feel in a movie or in a web series, where this narcissist gets what he does. Yeah, it just comes back. So these things don't happen in real life, and by engaging into such contents, we often feel that he or she is going to face. And let me tell you an honest thing, he or she, whatever he or she might face, there is a lot of gap in between that happens. We move on, we move on with life, and we really don't care. By the time they might not face the bad deeds they have done, or the misconducts that they have engaged in, by that time we might not be there, or we might not witness it, or we might not see it, we might have forgotten and moved on. So the only advice that I have for people who are looking forward to heal from a narcissistic relationship is, there are two advices. The first advice is that never lose yourself, never stop loving yourself. Yeah, I mean, that is one of the most important things that will bring back you to your own self, to your own originality, to your own individuality, to your own authenticity, your own authentic self. So never stop loving yourself, never stop self-care, never stop loving yourself. And don't prioritize, I'm not saying that don't prioritize others in life, but keep yourself in the topmost priority. Yeah, and that is one of the best ways into healing yourself when you have come out of that narcissistic abusive relationship. So yes, self-love, self-care is very essential. Start focusing on that. The second way is that you have left a narcissist. That is the healthiest thing that you have done. You have chosen to put a full stop. You have chosen to say no to it. You have shut the doors to all that exploitation, manipulation and abuse. So walking away from their life, walking away from such narcissistic relationship is the other way that can help you heal. Because narcissists don't change. See, there are a lot of theories. I have read a lot of these psychologists who say that under certain situational circumstances, narcissist does mellow down, they do a little bit of transform. I don't agree to those theories, because they remain the way how they are. So I mean, let's look at it this way, that isn't it very empowering when you are saying no to abuse, when you are coming out of that relationship and letting that person suffer and face whatever he or she does, not being a part of that abusive relationship? That itself is more empowering, where you are choosing yourself over the other. Yeah. And it's not easy, these things. I mean, I did take a lot of time to heal, but it's not that difficult also. And as far as these movies are concerned, these web series are concerned, karma pays back, karma is a bitch, this, that, blah blah blah, karma is going to give you back 10 times more. Just look at those invaders, just look at those people invasions, and look at these bad chunk of people in history. I mean, what was all of that, those genocides and this and that? I mean, what was there? I mean, what was what was karma doing then? Sitting and hatching eggs? So yes, so I mean, I personally don't buy this entire idea that if you'll do good, you'll get good, if you'll do bad, you'll get bad. No. You have to say no. You have to be protective towards your own self. You have to learn to say no, and you have to safeguard yourself. You just can't wait and sit and be patient and keep waiting that one fine day karma is going to make him eventually face all the bad things that he has done to me. I'm going to see and witness. Who's got all that time? You might be dead, I might be dead, you might move on, I might move on. Who cares? The best thing is when it's not working out, you know the signs, you know everything, you know what narcissism is, you know what narcissistic relationships are like. You say no and you just let them live. They can settle, they can resettle, they can have another relationship, they can either be alone or whatever. That's not your lookout. But your priority should be saying no to it. And they might get into relationship, narcissistic partners might get into other relationships, if you leave them. Life doesn't stop for them. They might get into some other versions of transactional relationship. So life doesn't stop. So why should you keep sitting and keep waiting and keep feeling miserable? Just move on. Start loving yourself and let them suffer for who they are. Let them suffer for what for what kind of a person they are. Let them suffer and let them bear the consequences. Let them face the consequences. And eventually, if your behavior is bad, or if you had been doing wrong to people, someone stands up. Someone stands up and someone says no. So you couldn't say, you couldn't reply them back, or you couldn't teach them lesson. That doesn't mean somebody else cannot teach them lesson too. Yeah. I mean, I couldn't take revenge. That doesn't mean someone else might not be able to take revenge as well. So the best thing is to feel free. Take control of that freedom from invalidation, freedom from minimization, freedom from dehumanization, freedom from all that control and all that never-ending abuse. So there are so many things. There are so many things to feel good about. And when you come out of the relationship, you are having your own autonomy, you are having your own control, you are having your self-respect back, you are not being bruised, you are not being abused. Yeah, you are not being treated like an inferior. And there are lots of good things to look out for. Often what happens is that, we get so we get so emotional that we have this vengeance growing up, and we are like, may he, learns a lesson, may someone teaches him a lesson. If you can, you can also teach him a lesson if you choose to, and if you don't, then just move on. That person will face whatever that person has to face. And let me tell you, none of the narcissists have a happy ending kind of a thing. It can be compromised, it can be just a setup, it can be just transactional, because narcissists by default, they themselves are not happy people. They are insecure people with fragile ego. So as it is, they're unhealthy. So how do you expect an unhealthy person to have a happy and a healthy ending? Yeah. So there is no point in feeling miserable, in feeling helpless. Definitely these movies acts as a catalyst where it increases the propensity, and we are like, we begin to daydream that, yes, after 7 days, after a year, someone is going to teach her a lesson, someone is going to teach them a lesson. it I mean, it doesn't happen like that. Yeah, they are miserable beings, and the best thing is leave them. And the best part is to keep yourself as the priority, to make yourself special, to fall in love with yourself, to get into self-care, and enjoy the freedom from invalidation, minimization, freedom from being dehumanized, freedom from all those abuse, gaslight. Who doesn't like that? So yes, there are lots of things to feel good about. And when you start these are just the minor changes that you need to do, to the way how you look at things, rather than sulking and crying. I know we all get emotionally hurt. I am not invalidating that. But do we have to put a full stop to our life? No, it's a beautiful life, and you never know what happens next. So keep living. Why to be sad, sulk, and wait for karma to come on a white horse, tick, 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 and then teaching a lesson to the narcissist, and the narcissist is like, it doesn't happen. So yes, something is toxic, something is bad, someone is narcissist, someone is abusive. Just say no. Let them live and face their own life. Yeah, they're miserable people. So I mean, it's not that difficult, but yes, you just have to change the way how you look at things. And it's very much possible. I have helped a lot of people recover from narcissistic abuse, because it really scars people. And half of the time they have this vengeance inside, that he's going to learn a lesson. She's Half of the time is wasted in all of that vengeance. Yeah, and that gets more fueled by all these stupid movies and these stupid theories. So yes, be very practical. Love yourself, choose yourself over a narcissistic relationship, and say no to abuse, say no to toxicity, and just leave narcissistic relationships. It is never going to help you grow, whether it's your parent, whether it's your child, whether it's your husband, whether it's your worker. I mean, any setup. Narcissists are just going to keep pulling you down. Narcissists are going to drain you. Narcissists are just going to use you, and you will have nothing left. You would forget your own self. So say no to narcissism, say no to narcissists, and just get on with life. Life is beautiful, and keep moving forward. So yes, this was all about how to heal and manage, and help yourself feel better and move on the right track again in life after you come from a narcissistic relationship. There is no justice. There is no justice. So don't sit and wait and waste time that I'm going to get justice one day. It's all about injustice. Injustice was done to you, so you do the justice to yourself by getting over with that narcissistic person. You do a justice by loving yourself. You do justice to yourself by not sticking around with a narcissist. I think you can do justice to yourself. You can't, wait for some angel to come and, with a balance and do justice to you. So you are the one who can do justice to your situation and give yourself that justice. Get away. Cut your ties from a narcissistic relationship or from a narcissistic person. Yeah, so this is it, and please take care of yourself. In case if you would like to add in something, you can always comment below, and lots of love and blessings to all of you. Bye.